the Cincinnati Bengals win 17-13 over the Seattle Seahawks. I don't love that about college football analysis, Sam. They talk about, is the ACC stronger than the SEC this year? That's the analysis. It's like, talk about the teams like we're going to. The Bengals withstand they make a goal line red zone stop here. Not goal line, but tight red zone stop on the Seahawks. Turn it over on downs to hold on 17-13. Fun little back and forth game here between the Seahawks and the Bengals. Geno Smith sacked 4 times, including a couple key ones as they were driving late. They could not put the ball in the end zone, had multiple opportunities to jump the Bengals. A bit of a throwback defensive performance again by Cincinnati.
Yeah, their defense has had a couple of games this year where it's looked more like the Bengals defense that we're accustomed to seeing. I think this was a good one. Like Geno Smith was under pressure constantly throughout this game. I don't know what the numbers are.
I have the numbers. I did write it down here.
Because it was like 50%
as of last
first
night.
Run.
It was about 50. Where are my numbers?
Which, as we've said before, is
25 out of 51 dropbacks.
Yeah,
just about
so
50%.
It's down a little bit now after a grade review, but it's still going to be super high. That their pass rushing absolutely showed up. It showed up big the later the game got as well.
Yeah.
Like the more Seattle was trying to pass, the more that pass rush started to tee off. The difference in total pressures between the two defenses is wild, and that was a big part of the game. Like this was one of those Geno games where every time I looked up, he was either delivering an absolutely beautiful dime to somebody or delivering the ball to the defense, like nothing in between.
That was literally what happened.
Yeah.
In this game, though. That was kind of what summed it up. I tweeted out this stat yesterday, too. I feel like I've been extra critical of Geno Smith in the red zone over the last couple of years. I'm like, man, got away with another one in the red zone. Got away with another one in the red zone. So he finally throws a red zone interception, throws it into double coverage, right to Mike Hilton. Bad read. I think it was the third quarter, whatever it was. And I had to look it up. I said, Geno Smith has to have the most turnover-worthy plays in the red zone over the last 2 years, and he does. What I didn't realize is he had 0 interceptions in the red zone over the last 2 years until yesterday. That was his first red zone interception. So that's one of those, the broadcast, I don't think, showed it or anything, but hey, in the red zone last 2 years, Geno Smith has 33 touchdowns and no interceptions, which are always skewed. Of course, you're going to have way more touchdowns than picks in the red zone. But he really had a 0 for interceptions after throwing the ball to the defense a ton. Didn't get away with this one yesterday. Second interception, a little bit more miscommunication. Cam Taylor-Britt runs the dig. DK Metcalf, I believe, does not run the dig. Geno Smith throws a pick there. But there's another throw into traffic late when he's trying to win the game, late in the fourth quarter. So, yeah, there was some rough passes in there, but he also dropped some beauties in there. Tyler Lockett down go ball to Tyler Lockett, go balls to DK Metcalf, one that was dropped, and Tyler Lockett down the seam. And the seam pass was on that game-winning drive attempt, put Seattle, inside the 10. But as we mentioned, the Bengals cracked down that pass rush, got home a bunch, and hold on for the 17-13 win.
Yeah, he had this beautiful 30-yard pass to Tyler Lockett that was one of those classic Russell Wilson moon balls, the insane arc on it, ridiculous height and trajectory on the pass to just drop it in the bucket. Yeah, it was just such a weird Geno game. Every pass was either amazing or terrible. But the good ones were spectacular. Bengals defense, really impressive by them. They get Andre Yoshivas a touchdown catch on his birthday. It was nice of them.
That was nice of them.
The last receiver they did that to?
I don't.
Andrew Whitworth.
They got Whit a touchdown on his birthday?
They got Big Whit a touchdown on his birthday.
Wow. What a good nugget. Look at you bringing something to the table.
Yeah.
That's the happiest I've seen you since Saturday.
Yeah.
Thinking about Whit catching a touchdown on his birthday.
Good for Whit.
Yeah, I think the story for me was Cincinnati's defense, man. It was a bit of a throwback performance from it was more like the specific players that stepped up. DJ Reader had been a little up and down in recent weeks. He was outstanding. Run game, pushed the pocket a little bit. Classic DJ Reader game. Mike Hilton is in the middle of his worst season. He gets an interception, has a run stop. Cam Sample comes in and has a really nice sack as part of the rotation. Trey Hendrickson did his thing. And Had a cleanup sack in there, and, won a bunch against Charles Cross at left tackle. Cam Taylor-Britt had those 2 interceptions and was tracking DK Metcalf. So I thought that was a good all-around team defense win by the Bengals, really cracking down when they needed to.
Yeah, and then on the other side, Seattle secondary, Devin Witherspoon looks pretty amazing in his rookie season so
Yeah, he's
far.
awesome.
He looks fantastic. Trey Brown had a spectacular play. And on the other hand, Tariq Woolen was getting wrecked in this game. Like, he gave up a couple of touchdowns, I think. He was getting beaten repeatedly by multiple different receivers. He has not backed up his rookie season so far with, a second good year. But it's kind of been offset by Witherspoon looking amazing right out of the gate.
Yeah, I mean, Woolen still has all that potential with the size, speed, and length, but Witherspoon gives them a ton of flexibility, as I keep saying, if they want to play a little bit more man. But like, they're moving Devin Witherspoon around, and he is a playmaker, man. It's been fun to watch him play. It's always fun to watch Devin Witherspoon play. Joe Burrow still looking healthy, but didn't play his best game, right? So he didn't grade all that well. He did have a turnover-worthy play on that interception. So Burrow wasn't great. But he has those plays where he's extending and probably holding the ball too long, and some of those plays where it's like, no, yes, no, and that, to me, that's actually encouraging, even though like the plays themselves weren't a thing. The fact he clearly has way more confidence in that calf.
Yeah, the calf looks pretty much healthy. I mean, he's doing things that he wouldn't have even thought about doing the first game or two back with that calf injury. He had one of the most weird plays I've seen where he took off running and was sort of scrambling into open field, and then realized he was about to cross the line of scrimmage and didn't want to. It's like, the space, you instinctively go to the space, and then you're like, no, I actually don't want this. I'm going to back up. And he just turned around and started running back behind the line of scrimmage to find a pass. He's like, I don't want to take the 5 yards that are available in the scramble. I'm actually going to completely run back into the pocket that isn't there anymore and try and find a pass play. It's like, what? What are you doing? I've never seen that before.
And I'm calling that a positive.
I mean,
that he's playing like that. He's playing with that level of confidence in his calf. I think it'll bode well going
bizarre
forward.
Play.
So huge win for the Bengals, moving to 3-3. They're heading to a bye. Remember, they started 0-2, started 1-3, and they're going to be hanging around. Seahawks fall to 3-2. Tough loss for them, but as I mentioned, we've got the Niners also lost in the NFC West, so they can stay a little bit, within a game there, at least game and a half of the Niners.